Just exactly how it is. Okay. Smart. Well, thank you everyone for showing up. This is our talk for salads all winters long. I'm really excited to be here. I'm just going to go through the quick agenda real fast. Oh yeah. So I have it broken down into basically 3 sections today. We're going to talk about microgreens, fast food, the healthy kind, the whole process there. And then we'll have to take a little break. Then microgreens and desktop hydroponics. We're going to go through like my process, why I have all this stuff up here. Another little break, and then we'll talk about how to actually build the whole setup or a rack tiered system for an indoor greenhouse with and all the lights and everything that goes with this. But before I start, I just really wanted to take a moment to really thank everyone that makes this possible. I mean, this doesn't just magically happen. I mean, they got to rent the room, and there's volunteers, and there's foods, and there's snacks, and there's people monitoring this. Like, I've just been really, really impressed with the level of engagement the master gardeners do to get this all set up. I mean, I missed every single meeting for doing these, but Mary in the back went to everyone, and she took notes, and she said, "Don't worry, Ben, you're gonna get there." It's like while I was teaching in class, they were taking care of the back end stuff. So I just really wanted to spend a minute and just thank all of our master gardeners, interns, volunteers, helpers, and then actually you guys. I mean, we filled up this room here. Everyone looks like they want to be here. We're here to learn. So we wouldn't do any of this without every single person actually being here. So I mean, thank you so much. I really love that. There you go. Give yourself a round of applause. So I've been excited. So last year 2 years ago, I was right where you guys were sitting, and I did watched a straw bale gardening through the gardening series with a gentleman back there that's kind of snickering with red glasses on. But that's what started it up. And I'm like, wow, people want to learn about stuff, and I wanted to learn, and I went through the whole Master Gardener program, and it's just been really, really a cool experience for me. So I teach agriculture and culinary and actually business communications at James Taylor High School. We have about a population of about 60 students that go to our school full time. We're the alternative learning environment, part of North Mason School District. And it's really cool because we get to do fun things like this. We for our agriculture class, we built a lot of the stuff that I'm showing you today. So I'm just really, really excited. One of my students, Riley, she just really loved taking care of the plants. I mean, every single day she would show up to school and I got to take care of the plants, Mr. Kersey. So she would go and water and fertilize, and she just really, really, really loved it. She might be on the Zoom right now. I gave her the link, but it's just getting plants and getting students engaged in stuff is just super important for me because it just builds healthy habits. It gives you something to take care of. Every day she would come and water her plants, and she did a great job. But everyone got a Swiss chard to take home. We had to start somewhere. A couple of lights and some seed starter greenhouses. Got just some LEDs up there. Regular, cheap little seed starters just to get things going. Started with curiosity. We just put the lights in there and let the students. I had about 20 different varieties. Let's just grow stuff. So I had the students pick what they wanted to do. Some worked out great, some didn't. We built I'm in my classroom. We built a double-decker tent, so we had more rooms for plants. So you can see there's 2 levels there. We just kind of experimented. Then the class ended, and we ran out of room because we're a small school. We harvested a little radish. It was proof that the system works. Riley grew that, and then we're sprouting seeds for another batch. And this was a picture of all the Swiss chard that the students grew. I, for some reason, can't grow spinach. I try and try and try. I plant and plant and plant, and spinach never grows. No matter how I try, it doesn't go. But Swiss chard grows really great. And it looks very much like spinach, and it has a lot of the same health. It's got a lot of iron and stuff like that. But that's what got me here. So why microgreens matter, how much to eat, and why they're not all equal. This is what we're going to start up with here. So let me ask you a simple question, just something simple. If you can get the nutrition of a full plate of vegetables in just a small handful, would you eat that every day? No. That's what microgreens offer. They're not a garnish. They're not a trend. They're young plants at their nutritional peak, grown indoors, harvested fast, and packed with compounds your body actually cares about. I'm actually a teacher, so if anyone has any questions, I'll call. Stop me at any time. Please do. If that doesn't make sense or I didn't hear it, I should have said that earlier, but please, I'm happy to take questions at any point. So how many microgreens should you eat? One of the biggest questions people ask is, okay, how much am I supposed to eat? Here's a simple answer: a quarter to a half a cup per day. Not much, just like a little tiny bit, a loose handful. You don't need more than that for real benefits. Microgreens are concentrated. You're not eating a whole salad volume. You're eating at nutrient density. Think of them like herbs instead of lettuce. Supplements you can chew. Nutrition in fast forward mode. Really went for it. This is why I sometimes call microgreens the daily medicine that you can eat. Small amounts make big impact on your health. So not all microgreens do the same job. Just like vegetables in the grocery store, microgreens are not nutritionally identical. Some are built for energy, protein, minerals, antioxidants, long-term health. There's no best microgreen, only the right one for the goal. So for fuel and everyday greens, just like vegetables in the grocery store, microgreens are not identical. So we have sunflower microgreens. A lot of people, those are the first ones they start because they grow so easy. I wanted to do something with these are all broccoli ones, but they're often people's first microgreen for good reason. They're high in protein, they're high in vitamin E. People like sunflower seeds. It just tastes good, you know, and the greens kind of taste a little like that. They're mild, they're nutty, they're crunchy. They're good. You have a little crispness to it. And they're fuel greens. They support energy, fullness, and consistency. And what about pea shoots? You know, put those side by side. They're high in plant protein, excellent vitamin C, gentle on digestion. They got a sweet flavor. A lot of people like peas, and they're extremely productive to grow. You put a bunch of those, and they're just going to go real quick. So sunflower and pea is the best daily base for most people looking to try to get more protein and vitamins into their food, into their diet. Supporting specialty greens. A lot of people, I've did a lot of research, and I've seen a lot of stuff saying you should do basil, you could do cilantro, you can grow dill. I tried it a couple times, but it just, one, I couldn't get the bulk seeds. So like the dill seeds, I just couldn't get like a big bag of them. And they just take longer to grow. So I didn't really mess with them. They have a lot of great stuff. They're high in polyphenols. Small amounts go a long way, more for flavor, but I didn't grow them because I'd like to harvest them over and over and over again than just slip them when they're young. But a lot of people do it. I just want to make sure that people know that you all know that you can do it. Sunflowers, peas, like there's a lot of different plants that work well with microgreens, and I haven't tested them all. But this is the one I did test out: brassicas microgreens. So this is where things get exciting. The mix we're growing is broccoli, cabbage, and related greens. Comes from the brassica family. These are known for one compound in particular, sulforaphane. This is the superstar. The seeds that we got are all super high in sulforaphane. Why sulforaphane is a big deal. So according to the researchers at Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center, sulforaphane helps activate the body's natural detoxification and antioxidant defense systems. It's a bioactive compound found in broccoli and other brassicas that has been widely studied for its role in cancer prevention and cellular protection. Key findings from Fred Hutchinson research say that sulforaphane supports the body's detox pathways, especially in the liver. It helps activate antioxidant defense mechanisms that protect cells from damage. Early stage plants, especially broccoli sprouts and microgreens, contain the highest concentrations, up to 20 to 50 times now. But we'll get into that. So why sulforaphane is a big deal? Again, one thing I really appreciate about the Fred Hutchinson research is that they're careful. They're not calling sulforaphane a cure. They're talking about risk reduction, cellular protection, and supporting the body's natural systems. That's exactly where microgreens fit. Not as a medicine replacing anything, but as food that stacks the odds in our favor. So sulforaphane, we talked, is a bioactive compound, supports detox livers in the pathway, activates the body's defense systems, and has been studied for its role. These three up on here, these are the ones that we grew. I got 1 tablespoon of this one, 2 tablespoons of this one, 3 tablespoons of this one, and this is the one right here, the one with 3 tablespoons. This set of microgreens is about 6 weeks old, and this one's about a week old. So I want to show like they got a pretty decent shelf life on them. Broccoli microgreens can contain up to 20 to 50 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli. You're getting everything you need right in the sprouts. So a small sprinkle of microgreens can rival a large serving of full green vegetables. To me, that's important because it's hard to eat a lot of vegetables sometimes. But it's easy to take a couple snips of some microgreens, especially if you only need like a quarter cup throughout the day. Put them in the salad, put them in a food, anything like that. It's best to eat them raw or lightly used. Sulforaphane is heat sensitive, so microgreens shine when added fresh to sandwiches, tossed onto soups after cooking, mix into smoothies, scrambled over eggs, rice, pasta. You don't need to cook them, you just got to use them. And this next slide is, so this is how I eat microgreens. I got my, basically, this is my kitchen. I keep my setup right there. I snip it as I needed, and there's a burrito right here. So I just put a whole bunch of them right up on there, put it in it. They got nice long stringies. The wife doesn't like that, so for her, we chop it all up, chuck it in the, yes, sir. Now, once you trim it, it's done, that section. But I mean, as you say, I trimmed here, but I left all that. So as you trim, it doesn't come back up, but the other stuff will grow a little bit, but it basically hits its height and stays there, essentially. I'll look at the exact date, but yeah, this is the microgreen tray that I did for all these slides. When I started the whole process, which I want to say is like 6 weeks ago, but could have been 3 for all I know. Any other questions for that before they go? Yeah. You don't want to, one of the things you got to watch mold and moisture and stuff like that. So they, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Sorry. No, you're right. You're right. The question was, can you keep the kid with the cover over them to protect them from cats and animals and stuff like that? Basically, we want to make sure that there's no humidity on the top. These things are susceptible to mold on the bottom because there's not much stuff up the top. That's why I just kind of like water along the sides. I mean, if you could wrap something around or put something, like if you had like a wire mesh or something like that. Yeah, just something so there's air, ventilation going through. Yeah, and the previous question Nick asked was, once you snip the microgreens, do they keep growing? And the answer was no. So thank you. I will repeat the question from here on out. Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. No, mustard greens have different compounds in them. It's typically related to the brassicas. Do I have to repeat that question? Oh my gosh. Well then, I don't know. That's a good. You're the expert there on that one. Yeah. I don't know. I know I steered clear of mustard greens because they're just spicy, so I can't really eat them. I mean, it's great to have this stuff. I could eat broccoli all day long and sunflowers. The spicy stuff, I just don't eat as much. That's why I don't do radishes. It's the same thing. They just have spicy greens, you know. That's great to look into. I'll look into the mustard because it's gonna have a little bit. Okay. Do they need to be aware of any bacteria? Yes, you should definitely be aware. We'll go through the process. Basically, nothing is ever really completely covered, sealed. When we do the blackout period, we basically just have another tray on top, so it's not covered up that way. The main thing is you want to make sure that you have some airflow going, and we're going to talk about that. Airflow and a little bit of warmth will go a long way. You always want to check on mold and stuff, especially in the Northwest. Things will just mold up if you look at them wrong. But not prevalent. I mean, even this is at about 6 weeks old. You can still see there's still not much mold or anything like that. And those have just been in my garage, sitting there with a little fan on them. So definitely be aware for humidity issues and stuff. If you're starting to see droplets forming on the underneath, that's probably a pretty good indicator that humidity is too high and that you can get mold. And why we're doing it this way and not the jars is especially because of the mold situation. A lot of people do sprout microgreens in mason jars, shake them up, strain them a bunch of times. I did that. I just feel like that was a bacterial mold situation, just waiting for it, because no matter how much I strain it out, there's still just more liquid in there. Go.
Dan, you made a very important point of air circulation. So it's really important not just for getting rid of the mold and mildew, but also for psyllium mold.
Yeah. Yeah, Mara was saying that basically having the having the airflow helps for mold. It helps the plants get a little stronger, helps for mold, and helps for psyllium. Vercillium. Okay. Sweet. Man, I'm learning some stuff too. We got good? We're good on questions there? Okay, so that was just a quick talk about it. So if you remember just 3 things about this, you only need a small amount of microgreens, 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup. Different microgreens do different jobs. Sunflowers and peas for fuel and protein, herbs for flavor, brassicas for protection, mustard greens for flavor and protection, I suppose. And then microgreens aren't baby plants. They're plants at their most powerful moment. That's why growing them indoors isn't just convenient. It's smart. You're not just growing greens. You're growing daily medicine you can eat. So why indoor growing microgreens make the sense? To me, it's not just the fact that we're growing these greens. It's all like the ripple effects and knockdown stuff. So like if you grow microgreens in your house, you don't have to go and pick them up. Someone doesn't have to go chop them from the store. They don't have to put it on a truck. That truck doesn't have to be shipped out. It doesn't have to sit on the shelves. By the time there's no pesticides drifting from the fields. You controlled the whole cycle right there, and all you had to do is put some seeds, a little bit of soil, a little bit of light, and you got something that is super, super healthy and good for you. And the same thing with the mold. I mean, I have a tough time buying sprouts at the store just because I'm worried that there's going to be mold and it's just going to be a waste of my money. And they're expensive. You know, they're not cheap either. They don't give these things away. But when you do this process, you'll be able to give them away because you have so much. I mean, I had 2 trays I brought to work last week. Gave them they use them for their chickens. Like, oh, great, because they're we harvest some. Everybody loves it. But yeah, it's just like it's a really good way to cut your bills lower and still have a lot of really good healthy stuff. But yeah, it's just like if you don't have to do things on a truck and ship and go there, then you save all that effort and gas and time. And yes, Mary.
Well, and also they're great for people that don't have outdoor space.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's hard for them to work outside growing vegetables on your countertop.
Yeah. Mary is saying it's great because you can do it all inside. You don't have to. When you're limited on space. And I meant to put a picture of a graph. Basically, just the big. Everyone's seen that, just like a graph line where it shows, a big peak in the summer, and that's basically like the harvest schedule. And like I'm probably a lot like you guys. Like I have so much produce in July and August, I can't get rid of it. But like the rest of the year, I got nothing. So I have a ton or nothing at all. So that's why I wanted to have stuff all the time, all year long. I could do the microgreens whenever. I could do these things. We're going to get into this. These are some of the easiest setups you can do for if you want completely hands off for growing, or you can put a little bit more effort into it. But it's super super easy. That was my whole thing. I feel like I'm a pretty good gardener, but I'm only eating my garden stuff a couple months out of the year. So of those 9 months, I'm still going to the store, paying all that money, and at the end of the day, not getting the stuff as nutritionally enriching that I would hope. How we grew these microgreens and why it works. Before I walk you through the steps, here's the key idea to understand. Microgreens don't need soil nutrients. They don't. Don't spend money on soil that has nutrients in it. They need moisture, warmth, light, and the right time. Everything the plant needs to get started is already in the seed. Everything. So if you don't have to put in use good potting soil, you can save a lot of money right there. So step 1, the growing medium and why empty soil works. So we're going to start going through it. I use standard 10 by 20 seed trays. So these ones here. Fill them with about 4 or 5 cups of Pro Mix. Pro Mix was just a mix that I bought that had Canadian peat moss, peat humus, and perlite. That's it. 3 things. It was very affordable. And that's on purpose because microgreens, the seed provides all the nutrition. The soil's job is for structure and moisture, not feeding. And think of it as a seed holding sponge, not fertilizer. So you can use almost any clean, lightweight soil, save your money, nutrients don't matter at this stage. And I thought that was super fascinating. It's like that's why seeds are like, Master Gardener talking about seeds, but like they really are an amazing thing, how it has all the energy contained in it to get it up, to get it out, to get it start going. It's just, that's always a really fascinating thing to me, because when you actually crack open the seed splits, and it's just like an even little smaller thing inside that seed. It's like, man, where are they getting all this energy? But I guess nature just figured all that out. So this is the process here, how I went. I basically put 4 or 5 cups down, sprinkled, I did experiments, but I sprinkled my seeds. I got my sulforaphane mix. They sell it on Amazon. The 1 pound bag was $20, and we made 20 something kits with that. So 20, 40 tablespoons. That's a lot. Yeah, 4 tablespoons times 20, it's 80. If you're using
1 bag, like 2 tablespoons.
I'm serious, 4. So 40.
40.
Yeah. Either way, that's a lot. If you're only using 2 at a time, 2 tablespoons per week, and you got 40 or 20 batches, that's darn near a whole year for $20 for the seeds. The soil, we say, doesn't cost that much. You can use peat. They have compressed bricks. Like, there's a lot of good ways to just use cheaper stuff. Put it on there, water it down, cover it. And then I ran 3 trays to test seed density. I did a tray with just doing 1 tablespoon of seed, doing 2 tablespoons of seed, and then 3 tablespoons of seed, all the same stuff. Everything was identical. And that mattered more than I expected. After spreading the seeds evenly, I added at least a pint of water, not a ton, just enough to fully moisture the seeds, soil and seeds. Not flooding, I give it a good spray down. You only want to spray it. If you spray the microgreens, once they start growing up, they all fall down. And they have a really tough time recovering once they fall down. So I only spray it in the beginning period. Not flooding, just constantly damp. Then you stack another tray on top of it. So you put your dirt down, put your seeds down, water it, put another tray on top, and you let it sit there for 3 days. And then for 3 full days, the trays stay covered. Why? Because in nature, seeds germinate underground. Darkness tells the plant to stretch upward. This creates stronger stems and better uniform growth. During blackout, seeds germinate, it roots the anchor, and shoots push upward looking for light. This is how you avoid weak, floppy microgreens. During blackout, I thoroughly spray the seeds with water before they sprout too much. So yeah, I'll check it out. I'll look at them every day. You guys see what we got. Look at them every day, put a little bit of water down. This is during the blackout period. You can see they're all yellow. The yellow means they have not gotten any light, and they're looking for a little bit of light to start photosynthesis, but they look pretty even. That's the main thing. So I think this was like day 1, day 2 or 3, maybe day 1, day 2. But I was really surprised that the best tray was the middle one, the 2 tablespoon one. Really cool. I thought 3 would have been better. I thought 1 would have been the worst, but I ate all the ones from the 1, and 2 really was pretty awesome. So after 3 days, remove the tray and expose them to light. Microgreens need 12 hours of light per day. A light source 1 to 2 feet above the tray. Not intense grow lights. Simple LEDs work great. They're not flowering. They're not fruiting. They're just photosynthesizing enough to finish leaf development. Just a little bit. The lamps that we got are great. They're LEDs. We're going to put it on there, and you just need a little bit. Or if you don't have a lamp, and if you can put it next to a window shade, like some kind of light. I haven't tested just doing it completely like during the winter, but I mean, if you can set them on a kitchen counter, any kind of thing that you can just know it has some light and some stable temperature, that'll be the best. And I keep skipping my head. So where can you grow these? This is one of the most flexible parts. You can grow them on the countertop, in a cabinet, on a shelf, or in a heated garage like I did. Temperature matters more than location. So when you go too low in the beginning, they have a tough time germinating, tough time growing. Once they're growing, they're up at their final thing. Then the temperature, if you put them to cold, they'll just stay there essentially. I've put these in my fridge because I put it on the counter. Oh, they're looking pretty good. Let's put them in the fridge. Then it's basically just stops growing. They're not going to go anywhere. You're going to be able to keep them a lot longer. Maximum temperature, they don't like it above 80 degrees, So when it's too cold, you have slow growth, risk of damping off that mold. Too hot, stress, faster spoilage. Rule of thumb, if you're comfortable in the room, microgreens for your RG, And if you have any spare bedroom, side, like the closet you're not using, like anything that you can just have a little bit of space and a little bit of airflow, you'll be able to grow microgreens in these locations. Step 6, watering. So I watered every few days, not daily. Method, pour water. So yeah, I had little videos for this. Basically, I would water along the sides when I was going, tip it up, and that's that. So we just go right along the perimeter. We don't want to go all on there. Any way we can keep these from falling over, that helps. My very first thing is I got my spray bottle. I'll spray them all up. Mostly everything fell down. They really took some time to recover. So you don't want to do that. There we go. Now, these were supposed to be video slides, so I'm saving you a lot of that of me just like water and just like really like I watched some of the videos and I'm like really positive about these plants. Like, oh, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Do without it there. So after a few more days, plants reach 2 to 3 inches. First true leaves form. That's harvest time. So this one is a week old. I started this exactly Saturday last week. Here it is now. They're ready. You can ready to start eating these. They're ready to go. But you can see there's some that are sprouting late. So as you snip, the other ones will grow. They'll get about just a little bit bigger, but not too much. So once they reach 2 or 3 inches, they're ready to go. You can just start harvesting, snipping, and we'll have some little practice with that too. 2 tablespoon tray performed the best. 1 tablespoon was sparsely yield. 3 tablespoons was overcrowding, and 2 tablespoons was perfect balance. So just like other plants, too many seeds compete for light, air, and root space. Even microgreens need a little breathing room. You can even see this through and really forms into a nice mat. You just pick it up, and I had a lot of fun. Just like you pick the whole thing up and just put it into another tray. Most of my trays have been cracked, so I'll start watering them and I'll see water dripping out of the bottom. So these ones sat in a greenhouse in the summer for a while. All the ones we got, you guys are brand new and look great. And hopefully they won't keep cracking on you. You just pick it up and just, oh man, I got back here right there. So. Root mats and growth limits, why they stay small, like I showed you. So it forms a nice dense mat. The plants stop growing taller. They stabilize at microgreen size. This is normal and expected. They're not stunted, they're finished. Yeah, I mean, there's so many roots in there, they don't have anywhere to go, and if they're competing that much for space, they can't grow up anymore. Just like when you buy a bundle of basil at the store, like, oh, this will be great, I'll plant it, and you plant it and nothing grows because you got like 30 little basil plants in that thing. Same type premise, so if you spread these out, obviously, you start growing the broccoli and stuff like that. But I love it. I'm just really, that was the biggest thing that was shocking to me is the fact that they just stopped growing. They're like, okay, they're ready to go. They're still healthy, but it's just because those roots are just really making the nice thick mats. And that's exactly what we want. There's some more. Oh, sorry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is super fast. Yeah, I mean, I did this on Saturday. 1 week ago today, and they're ready to start eating at any point. I mean, you can barely get a seed sprouted in that much time for baby greens and other stuff. Yeah. Oh, sorry. She said, how long? She said, after a week, we're able to start harvesting. Yeah. And I said, yes. I'm going to get better at repeating questions there. Yeah. I did not say the depth. The depth's about a quarter inch. She asked, what is the depth of the soil? The soil is about a quarter inch to a half inch, not much. And if you look close at these trays, some of them are sparse. So some little areas don't have it at all. It's just enough for structure and support, just enough so the little roots have something to grab onto. You don't need a ton. The less you use, they'll still grow great, and you're just saving some medium, some soil mix. Yes. Where do we get the trays from? Amazon. Yeah. 10 by 20 is what standard seed trays are 10 by 20. I think that's what they call it. I don't know if it's actually 10 by 20 inches, but I hope so. No holes. Yeah. No holes. Yeah. So a lot of. Yeah, and there's some different rule of thought on there between using a lot of the ones I looked up had get a tray of holes, put it in a tray without holes. That way you can kind of, not avoid overwatering your plants. I just use less water. I don't want to have to worry about picking things. I try to make this as simple as possible, and to me, simple is just putting a little water down, coming and snipping it. Yes, ma'am.
And we can add the supply list
to
the website. Okay. I'm sorry, it just slipped my mind this morning.
No, yeah, Mary's saying we will add the supply list to the website. Yeah, we definitely will. Yeah, I mean, just little things. I mean, like I said, I'm a teacher. I had a lot of great stuff planned. I think I got a lot of the stuff, but the little handouts and stuff maybe just kind of didn't quite get us. But yeah, those are the 3. And you can see this one here started harvesting. Just kind of hard to tell, but yeah, just snip it. And then I do your best you can. I don't try to get every single grain. I mean, you used a couple of cents, maybe 50 cents worth of seeds, so you don't have to like get every single one out of there. I mean, I give myself some grace. Yes. What's the shelf life? I got on the next slide here. Perfect. So I'm just going to use that, and I'll go right there. So that was perfect segue. Harvested microgreens last a few days once cut. So you cut them, they're going to last for a couple of days. Microgreens still in the tray can last weeks. So once basically, if you got the light over it, it's going to keep growing. It's going to get sun in. If you pull away from the light, they'll just last. They really do. I mean, they said this one's about a month old, 6 weeks. This one's weak. But once you cut, basically, you start losing the nutrients. A lot of nutrients are like, volatile. That's just basically start breaking down and stuff. So you want to make sure. I try to harvest and eat within an hour. If I chop it, I want to immediately put it in my mouth or something like that. That came out wrong, but you get the point. Yes, dear.
I love the idea of the thing that cheese is smaller. I see the person and I would want that. But it's so glass. And trade cheese is kind of can you make a very small garden for yourself.
Absolutely. No, with 100%. She was saying, what was your name there? D was saying, this might be a little bit too much for one person there, but you could easily scale it down to a smaller size. You could even use half the tray, do other stuff. I mean, you could have microgreens on one half. You could do little baby lettuces on the other side, get a little rotation. You'd want to plant a little medium, a little deeper on that side. There's just a number of ways that you could stagger these with these trays, or use smaller trays, or just use half. And just, any of those would work. Yes, Mary.
Can you freeze or dehydrate these?
D. Okay, we're not answering that. Okay. Getting us in trouble. So basically, once my harvest, I had them in the garage. Once they got pretty good, I brought them into the kitchen. My wife said, are we people that have plants in the kitchen now? I said, yes, I guess so. It's because if they're not there, you're not going to use them. So I started snipping them for every meal. And she's like, oh, cool. It doesn't take up any space on our counter. It's just like half the counter. But she was fine. We started snipping it up there, and they do help. I mean, all of this stuff's anecdotal. I mean, I've been eating microgreens. Have I been feeling good? I've been feeling great, but I don't know if there's any correlation between that. Maybe it's just planting all these sides that really gives me joy in the morning. Okay, after your harvest, reuse the soil once. When you're done, sift out roots as best you can. Mix reused soil with at least 50% fresh soil. Use it one more time, then compost it. You used very little soil, very little seeds, total cost under $1 per tray. That's hard to beat. I didn't do any of that. It takes time. I really, at the end of the day, I mean, I just feel like I'm a busy guy. I'm a teacher. I'm doing stuff. I don't really spend the time to filter and sift through all my plants and stuff. I didn't have time because this is actually still growing, So the ones that I had, I gave away. So I didn't really actually test out dumping it and sifting it through it. But cocoa, premium cocoa noir, this stuff right here, very, very, very cheap. You can get a brick of it for like $8 and it expands to 2 gallons worth of material. Cocoa is the best way to go. In my opinion, take it what it's worth. Cocoa is the cheapest. It's neutral. There's nothing in it. You don't need anything to be in there anyway. It's cheap. It's compressed. It's plenty for many, many batches of microgreens. I mean, if you get the microgreen kit and get one of those bricks, you're probably gonna be able to do microgreens for at least 4 or 5 months. Because you don't need a lot of material. That thing makes 2 gallons and you're only using 4 or 5 cups of pop. That means you could probably do tray 6 times, something like that. I think so. I don't know. I asked a student what's half of half a cup, and he looked at me and said, "What, a full cup, right?" I'm like, "No, that's a quarter cup." Let's just say his cookies did not turn out right in that class. My goodness. But so the big takeaway is microgreens are fast, forgiving, and incredibly efficient because you're just putting tablespoons of seeds down. You're growing minimal inputs, minimal space, maximum nutrition. And once you understand this process, the next natural step is baby greens. Same idea, slightly more soil, longer growth, more harvest. and this is my first break. So I think we learned a little bit about there. If I have any questions from anybody, yes. Isn't that wild? The seeds are very small. Yeah. They're like kale seeds and stuff. So they're tiny. Yeah, same thing. I was surprised when I did 1 tablespoon. Oh, she said the question was, that doesn't look like 2 tablespoons. That looks like a lot of stuff there. And she's right. It does look like a lot of stuff, but it is only 2 tablespoons. I measured it each time. Even the 1 tablespoon was plenty fine. I mean, for one person, 1 would be good, or even half. Just put it on there. Makes it a little bit easier to harvest. You want to get the good mats there. So if you just pushed everything forward, then there you go. That's what I would recommend. But we'll take a quick. Oh yeah, just see. That's my line. Okay, yes, please. No. They're not pulling anything out. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, repeat that question. We'll repeat the question. I'll repeat it again. Well, wait. I got this. Will the potting soil you use affect the nutritional quality of the end product of the microgreens? Okay. No, because the microgreen already has everything it needs in there. It's not really, at this point, from my understanding of research, it's not even pulling any nutrients out of that soil. It's literally using everything it can. It's putting down roots, so it's just not even using it. So it's only using its own stored energy and a little bit of photosynthesis from the light or sun or things, but I really don't think so. I looked it up and I did not see any correlation between the quality of soil you use and the nutritional output of it. That's why they're so good. Like, just use the cheapest stuff you can find. You're still going to get a lot of great value. I got the seeds online. Yeah, Amazon. It's hard to find like the sulforaphane mix at potting different places. I mean, I don't want to always be pushing Amazon because there's a lot of great local nurseries and stuff like that. I have my own issues with the Amazon and stuff like that. But it is convenient. You can look it up. That's where I did it for mine, for convenience. But any like brassicas blend, kales, turnips, broccolis should really provide very, very similar results. No. Are they expensive? No, I got a 1 pound bag for $20. Yeah, and it filled up a lot of kits and stuff like that. I think we argued over it was 40 tablespoons or 80 tablespoons, 40. That's still a lot, I mean, even if you're only using 1 a week, for yourself, that'll last you all year. And that's not a ton. Do you have another question? Are there any plants you should not grow at microgreens? Yeah, plants that like to grow, really. I mean, most vegetables and stuff like that. I mean, I did not do tons of research on like would tomatoes be good or sweet potatoes. So that I just went with a lot of the established knowledge already. I'm definitely excited to do different types. I want to do sunflower, pea. I mean, you look at YouTube, and one woman did a side by side of like 8 different microgreens. Like, wow, that would have been like really cool to display. But sorry, I just got one kind there. But yeah, I don't know if there's any that we would. I just don't have good information on that. I would go with the established ones: sunflower, peas, brassicas. Yeah, seems pretty straightforward. They definitely do. Yeah. Okay.